10-band roller coasters you can't ride anymore. Secure your restraint over your shoulders and hold on tight. We're going for a ride. For those of us who have no fear of heights, roller coasters have always been the way to go to an amusement park. Shelling out money to stand in line, finally getting a seat on the awe ride, butterflies fluttering in your stomach, and finally hearing your heartbeat double up as you go up on the precipice of a near vertical drop was and is the most outstanding experience ever. But as much as these rides are amusing, they're also not 100% safe. There are cases where people got injured or even lost their lives due to technical issues. This is why some of them have been banned. Today, we list for you 10 banned roller coasters you can't ride anymore. Number 10, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, Disneyland, 2003. This popular roller coaster was opened in 1979, and it was based on the idea of a runaway mine train that speeds through a dark tunnel. The train was made up of 5 cars and a small engine. It was an amusing attraction until a fatal accident caused its downfall. At about 11:20 a.m. of that day, a lead car, which was decorated to resemble a small red engine, and an open-top passenger car sped through the faux desert landscape and uphill into a dark tunnel on Disneyland's Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. Those who saw the accident ran out to call for help, and almost an hour later, the firefighters and paramedics came to save the day. Meanwhile, park employees politely kept people from entering the park. Unfortunately, one man passed away, identified as Marcelo Torres, and 10 other riders were hurt with minor injuries. His death was the 10th since it opened, and the whole incident was the second serious accident on Big Thunder Mountain since 1998. That was when a 5-year-old boy's foot was crushed against the curb while stepping off the ride. The well-being of everyone wasn't guaranteed anymore, which led to the executive decision of Walt Disney Co. to close it. Number 9, Big Bad Wolf. Designed by Aerodynamics, the roller coaster opened to the public on June 15, 1984. The ride, with its sleek red track and suspended black cars, had become one of the highlight attractions at Busch Gardens, perhaps second only to the Loch Ness Monster. Riders would be steered through a Bavarian village, narrowly missing buildings, before finally taking a final steep 100-foot drop down to the park's Rhine River. However, after 25 years of service, it came to permanent closure on September 7, 2009. Its 1984 opening was delayed because its final drop went too fast and posed the risk of injuring riders. Despite not being ready in time, the park still held a grand opening on June 25th of that year, with its guest of honor, actor Vincent Price. As many would assume this was the reason for its closure, it turns out the large maintenance costs were to blame for the closure. A train, track section, support materials, and the sign package were donated to the National Roller Coaster Museum for display. Number 8, Mindbender. This is probably the world's largest indoor triple-loop roller coaster. Riders can reach a maximum speed of 97 kilometers an hour and experience upwards of 5.6 Gs. However, before its ban and recent reopening, the Mindbender had suffered a tragedy. On the evening of June 14, 1986, the fourth car of a train traveling midway along the course derailed before encountering the third and final loop. Its wheel assembly had become detached from both the track and the car itself, causing the car to sway back and forth across the tracks. The car became damaged and the lap bar restraints unlocked and released, throwing all 4 of its passengers to the concrete floor below. The train continued to move along the track and into the final loop, but friction from the car's derailment slowed the train and prevented it from clearing the loop. As it rolled backward down the loop, the detached car crashed into a concrete pillar about midway down, stopping the train abruptly. 3 of the 4 passengers thrown from the ride passed away, while the 4th was left critically injured with permanent life-altering effects. An investigation later determined that the 4 cap screws holding the wheel assembly together failed, which were likely the result of design flaws and unsatisfactory maintenance routines. The trains have since been redesigned into the current 3-car trains, lifting the ban. Number 7, Wildcat, Bell's Amusement Park, 1997. If you've ever ridden a roller coaster, you know the nervous excitement that builds as the cars slowly climb to the top of the ride. It's the calm before a thrilling blur of speed, tight turns, and 360-degree loops. Now imagine how terrifying it would be if the lift chain pulling your car to the summit malfunctioned and sent it careening backward. That's exactly what happened on April 20th, 1997 at Bell's Amusement Park in Tulsa, Oklahoma. That day, visitors packed the park for a special 25-cent per ride promotion. A popular attraction was the Wildcat roller coaster, which had been testing Tulsans' nerves since 1974. As one of the ride cars reached the top of the highest hill, it stalled out, and a safety device meant to keep it from sliding backward failed. The car slipped 45 feet back down the track and slammed into another car, ejecting a 14-year-old boy who was the lone fatality. 6 other people were injured during the malfunction. The park was forced to relinquish its position at the square at the end of the 2006 season when the county didn't renew its lease. The park announced plans to move elsewhere, but the rides remained in a warehouse. Number 6. Willards Wizard. The Willards Wizard coaster was loved for its classic steel adventure. It has a historic recognition of being one of the last speed racers and a family-friendly coaster. It was demolished after it collided at the Great America Park in Santa Clara in 1980, where it killed a 14-year-old boy and injured 8 other people on the ride. Marriott Corporation later was charged for being aware of the problem behind the Wizard coaster and not reporting the defect. We don't know what happened to Marriott, but we do know that was the end of the Willards Wizard. Number 5. Mantis. Cedar Point is one of the most famous theme parks in the USA. It's known for its stunning location on Lake Erie and also for having the most thrilling ride in the park, the Mantis. Mantis was a coaster known for having multiple upside downs and also for being the steepest, tallest, and fastest ride available at that time in the US. But we all know that some records are not meant to last. The ride was closed 20 years later after many people complained of having back pain and aches from riding the Mantis. It was opened again later after being redone and made more dangling than before. This made it lose its thrill since most people were looking forward to a bigger and faster coaster. On October 19, 2015, Mantis gave the people its last ride after over 22 million thrilling rides since its opening. Everyone was sad, but the memory still lives on. Number 4. Son of Beast. This wooden hyper-terrain roller coaster was marketed as the sequel to The Beast. Son of Beast was located at Kings Island in Mason, Ohio. It was known as the tallest wooden roller coaster and also the then first wooden roller coaster with an inversion, which was made out of steel. But this famous roller coaster went down on July 9, 2006 when a cracked wooden beam caused one of the trains to stop. This incident caused the injuries of 27 riders. Luckily, no one lost their lives. After thorough investigations, it was found that the structure of the beam was not designed to bear the weight of the tracks and the trains. Son of Beast was said to have had the roughest ride, and the only smooth part of the coaster was the vertical loop. Multiple incidents occurred on the coaster before Son of Beast was ultimately closed for good in June 2009. After not operating for many years, it was later demolished along with Thunder Alley. The Son of Beast roller coaster had its amount of tragedy, but not as much as the Big Dipper coaster. Tragedy after tragedy. How unlucky. Stay tuned to see why you can't ride on the Big Dipper anymore. Number 3. Fujin Raijin 2 Expoland 2007. On May 5, 2007, it was Children's Day in Japan. It was on this day that Fujin Raijin 2 caused the closing of Expoland, an amusement zone in Osaka, Japan. Everything was perfectly normal until halfway over when the second car derailed and tilted dramatically to the left towards the guardrail. A 19-year-old then university student was killed and 19 other riders were injured. It was said that she struck her head on the railing as the coaster roared down the tracks. Later, an investigation revealed that the reason for the car derailment was due to a broken axle that hadn't been serviced for 15 years. That was when Expoland opened. This incident caused other amusement parks in Japan to voluntarily shut down and be inspected by authorities to see if they could have the same flaw. The park was later shut down and reopened, but closed again for good when they realized no more customers were going there. And with that, it's now time for today's best pick. Today's photo was sent to us by a subscriber. So if you come across a photo online and want to know more details about it, just send it over to us. We might even feature it on a future video. Number 2. Running Man Roller Coaster. The Running Man was a special South Korean variety show that was airing in 2014. The show had a wide range of actors. In this special kind of Running Man, 7 teams have to use their heads to the utmost to win and avoid the spectacular punishment that's awaiting them in Taiwan. The photo of people in a roller coaster is from an episode where the team that didn't finish their mission was punished. Their fears were tested on multiple roller coasters and amusement park rides. From the show, no guy fell from the roller coaster. This image of the guy falling off the ride is faked and was photoshopped. But if you want to see for yourself and enjoy some fun, check out the show Running Man to confirm it. Before we move on, I've got a little challenge for you that'll take 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. You just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell, and you will get 25 years of amazing luck. Try it, it really works. And number 1, Big Dipper. This is a roller coaster with a rich yet sad history. It was first built in 1923 by John Miller and was later extended by the American engineer Charles Page in 1936. Out of all of the 13 wooden coasters he's known to have built, all that survives is what's found at Pleasure Beach. This roller coaster has had its fair share of tragedy. In 1972, 5 children lost their lives at Battersea Park, Big Dipper. It's considered to be the worst roller coaster tragedy in history. On June 26, 1975, part of the main lift hill and first drop were severely damaged by fire. On August 11, 2009, 2 trains carrying a total of 32 guests collided. 21 riders required hospital treatment for injuries ranging from whiplash and broken noses to cuts and bruises. On June 5, 2010, part of a train derailed. There were no injuries, and the ride resumed operations a short time later. With the history of tragedy and the series of bad luck, though, we feel it's only time until the Big Dipper closes down and never reopens. So, would you be a daredevil and dare take a ride on any of these rides featured in this video? Let us know which one and why in the comments down below.